Good morning. Welcome to Coffee with Kenny.
Morning. It's good to be here.
So, as we do previous episodes, we sent out note to your members about soliciting questions for this so that they could ask their business manager directly questions that are on their mind, and we got several responses. So, I'm just going to fire away at you and let you answer as you see fit.
Okay.
Okay? All right. So, the first one is about Rivian. It says, can you address the rumors about Rivian? Because the most common one everyone hears is that the contractors from Detroit are coming down here to run it, paying $5 over scale, 30% on a pension, et cetera, et cetera. So could you address the rumors around Rivian?
So we've had a couple conversations over the last 6-7 months with Rivian. Their head of construction is a guy by the name of Kyle Pittman, who is stationed out in San Francisco at their home office. We've also had conversations with the Southeastern Regional Construction Manager, but for the most part, they're tight-lipped. We have the governor's election coming up. We have a bunch of elections, general elections on the horizon. So I kind of think they're in a state where they're sitting back on their heels. But I can tell you that Slifco has the presses, Slifco Electric. Now, as far as Detroit coming in and paying above scale and, paying all the pension and stuff, I haven't heard that yet personally, but I would be 100% for it. They're paying higher wages and anything we can get in higher pension and better benefits for our brothers and sisters, I'll welcome them with open arms for sure.
Amen.
But no, I haven't heard that for sure. I'll do some research and see if we can't circle back.
Okay. So about the apprentice wages, because there are plenty of fourth and fifth year apprentices that are taking a second job to survive. Could you address that?
Yeah, apprenticeship wages have always been an issue in our jurisdiction. When I started, it was $7.10 an hour for a first-year apprentice. It's hard to make it on a family with that, and even now at $14.25, what it is now. But the deal with the apprentices, we have to get them on a percentage. They need to be on a percentage of journeyman wiremen, and they need to stay on a percentage. CWs and CEs need to be on a percentage of journeyman wiremen. Ultimately, because what are we striving for?
Right.
To be journeyman wiremen. So everything is based off that journeyman wireman rate. General foreman rates based off journeyman wireman rate. Your foreman rates based off journeyman wireman rate. So they're on percentages. Apprentices need to be on a percentage so they get the proper wages increases each year to try to keep up with inflation. But, that's tough. I mean, 10% inflation now, 8.5, it depends on which entity you look at. But regardless, we're facing inflation. So I agree 100%. We have been in some discussions, trying to get the apprentice some raises. We're doing some stuff so we can try to get the apprentices extra help. And we're giving gas cards out if we can help them on their books. We want to help do that as a local union, because we understand they are the future. And if you can't recruit apprentices into our industry, then we're not going to stay around for another 100 years. I mean, you can look at most of the building trades, like the glazers is $15.10 an hour is what they start at. Your brick masons, $16.10 an hour. Boilermakers are at $19.80 an hour. We're one of the lowest for sure in the building trades. Our wages, once you get turned out, are first, second in the building trades. We used to be the first. So there's a lot we got to do as a group here in Atlanta to make sure we keep moving forward. But it's going to take, I'm trying to figure out the best way to say this. It's going to take all of us being on the same page. We'll just put it that way.
Yeah.
And we'll leave it at that. I feel like the relationship with the contractors is improving. But at the end of the day, we also I feel like we're teetering on a recession. We have all the work on the books. All this work is coming up. Summer now and next month and August, we're going to be having unfilled calls here, but yet the contractors can't get material. Our market share is about 38% now. We're increasing market share. We've signed 60 new contractors since 2017.
That's amazing.
We've doubled our membership since 2017. So we're growing, and once you start growing, you're going to have different, issues you have to deal with. But the first and foremost issue always is going to be our wages right now and our pension.
Right.
So many people wanted to increase pension during the last negotiations, and since 2017, it's always, we start taking requests at the union meetings, and it's always pension, go get more pension. So it's we just keep working.
Was there ever a time when they were on percentage, and if so, how did that change?
Yeah, there was we used to be on percentage, and then Ronald Napty negotiated that away. I guess for a raise for journeyman wiremen that he thought was sufficient, but regardless, we got to get back to being on a percentage. Every single local union that I know of in the United States is on a percentage. I mean, it's Category 1 language.
Yeah.
So there's different things that, make you kind of shake your head, and we got to get corrected. But,
right.
It was back in the 70s.
Yeah. All right. So this kind of dovetails into that. How do we, as the IBEW, take back the haul from the contractors?
Well, like I mentioned earlier, I think our relationship with the contractors is improving. They're kind of realizing that it is a partnership.
Yeah.
But you're not always going to agree. That question there, to me, after sitting behind the desk where I am, I don't think the contractors have the haul. That's based on opinion.
Right.
But if you're asking a question, how are we going to take the haul back from the contractors? It's going to be through sacrifices. But I don't think they have it. I think this is our local union. I think we're running a solid system for brotherhood and sisterhood, and I think as a whole, as the IBEW 613, this is our local union.
Yeah.
During last negotiations, we had a meeting where there was 92 brothers that showed up in solidarity for a fair contract. I can't ever remember that happening in Local 613.
I'll tell you another thing. I noticed at the IBEW Family Night and Apprenticeship graduation, I saw 0 contractor T-shirts, like company T-shirts, and I saw lots and lots of 613
Yeah.
T-shirts.
But it is a partnership now.
Yeah.
I mean, but to answer that question, I don't think the hall's, overtaken. The contractors are our partners, and they put calls in, and sometimes we fill them, sometimes we don't. But if you feel that way, you have to understand we all got to work together, because without us, the contractors will not have a labor force. But without the contractors, we won't have any employers.
Yeah.
So there's a relationship there that you got to teeter on and make sure it's a balance. But at the end of the day, I think we got a solid local here and some solid brothers and sisters that, stand together and really enjoy each other and know what we have to do to get where we need to be.
So this dovetails into that. That same guy, I think, asked this question. Tell me how to remain positive about the financial future of 613. And we talked a little bit about the compensation package he's talking about, but he also mentions, benefits like insurance and vision and dental and that kind of stuff. Do you want to address that in terms of he's asking how do we remain positive about the financial future of 613?
So I feel I always want to be positive no matter what the outcome is. You know, something happens to you throughout the day, the way you react to it's going to make the biggest difference.
Yeah.
You know, your attitude. You're still going to have to face the situation, so why not have a positive attitude? We have a plan, the local union down here in the administration, to get us some increases in our wages, but you gotta work that plan. You know, we've had a plan since we got in, a 10-year plan since 17, and you know, we'll do what we can do on our end to keep following that plan. One was to bring a manufacturer back here, a car manufacturer back here to Atlanta. We did it.
Right.
You know, we met with RJ's. We got it done. To increase the membership. Our goal is to have 300 contractors and 10,000 members. That's how you start making changes to be more positive and to secure a better financial future.
Right.
Like I mentioned earlier, our market share is rising. It's increasing, you know. But to get paid vacations and to get the things we need to get, we have to do it together. I mean, you got some contractors out there that offer different incentives to their employees, but if we want to get them to offer it to everybody, then that's something we'll have to put in the CBA.
Yeah.
You know, we go after a PTO. If we want paid vacation, we have some ideas how to present that, but it's going to be at the pleasure of the membership.
Yeah.
But to say the best way to tell you is to stay positive, because a negative attitude is not going to get you there anyways.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So stay positive and help us, but stand together. We got to all make sure that we stand together and we're singing the same song. If we're going in 4 different directions with no plan, then we're never going to get the increases we need.
Yeah.
But one of the main ways to get your increases is let's make ourselves more employable. Let's start looking at different avenues we can get training in. You know, let's start taking these BIM classes. You know, we hosted a BIM class here. Our industry's going that way, more digital, you know, anyways. And so as a local union, we hosted a BIM class here. And the E-Board gave us permission, said, yep, if you get 25 people, we'll agree to pay for it. Free training. 38 people signed up, said they want to take the BIM training. Well, we had 9 people show up. So we paid that money for this training. It was a 40-hour course, and 9 people showed up. But the point of that is we've got to start getting the training and doing different things to make ourselves more employable, so we're more of an asset.
Yeah.
Because we all know, let's address the elephant in the room. We're turning into a prefabrication trade. That's huge for us to grow our market share.
Right.
So if you want to be on the design side to make us more employable, then we can start getting more wages. We can offer more. But, you know, it's down the road. But, you know, I'm hopeful. I think we'll do pretty good just from the things that the membership has directed us to do in these next negotiations coming up in 2023. I think we've got a good solid plan, and I think we'll see some increases.
So this you may have already addressed this, but the next one is, when will JWs have paid vacation?
Again, that's some JWs are getting paid vacation. PTO, you know, depends on the company you go to work for. Now we just need to get it in the language.
Yeah.
Just get it in the agreement so everybody gets it. If that's something that the majority of the membership directs us to go after and to ask for in 2023, then we'll go ask for it in 2023. Yeah.
So I've heard you talk about AMPED as an apprenticeship program that empowers apprentices to be more involved in the local, et cetera. Would you talk about AMPED and what's coming down the pipe?
So we created AMPED, and AMPED is Apprentices Mandating Progress Every Day. We don't hear from the apprentices enough.
Yeah.
So the best way to hear from them is to offer the opportunity for them to come down and be able to speak to us. So AMPED is a way we could communicate and offer them the floor per se. So on June the 30th, it's going to be our first meeting. They don't even have to be members because we want to hear from all of them. We want to hear from that first year what we need to look at and what they're seeing that needs to be changed. You know, if we're really going to address the issue, we don't need to sit behind the microphone and say, yeah, we're doing this, we'll do that. Let's get down in the trenches. Let's hear what they got, have those tough conversations, because nobody likes to hear, you know, this is terrible and this is not any good. And, you know, but to fix the issues, you got to hear that.
Yeah.
So AMPED is going to it's going to offer extra training. It's going to, on June the 30th, we're going to build bags for food for them to be able to grill out with their families. Cool. On 4th of July, the next weekend, we're going to have hamburgers, hot dogs, buns, ribs, and things of that nature for 4th of July. And then we're going to have gas cards. We're going to give away some gas cards, and we'll have a food truck's going to be here, and just give us time to get together and hang out, show them some brotherhood, and let us hear some of the things they're dealing with on and off the job.
Yeah.
You know, because at the end of the day, we've got to take care of each other off the job as well.
Yeah.
So
well, I heard you say it at graduation, you know, the apprentices are the future.
Mm-hmm.
So
100%.
I'll post that. I'll get the details and post that as well.
Okay.
So that we get plenty of time. So last question I have is about Braves Night. It's July 23rd versus the Angels. Talk about that a little bit. We're going to distribute the tickets a little bit differently this year. If you would address the IBEW 615 Braves Night.
You know, last year we bought all the tickets and not everybody showed up. We sent them to them digital, and, you know, attendance was low. But so this year we've got the tickets, and they're going to be hard tickets. Now, the Braves printed them out for us at our request, reluctantly, because everything's going digital. Yeah. But they did it for us. So we're going to start this June union meeting giving away the Braves tickets at the union meeting. So what we're going to do is we're going to go A through M. If your last name is A through M, we're going to give these tickets away at the union meeting. We'll have 2 tables set up on each side of the auditorium once you come in the meeting, and we'll look you up. We'll give you your tickets. We're going to make a note that you received your tickets, and then you can stay for the meeting.
Okay.
There's 1,500 tickets, so it's first come, first serve. You know, I know a lot of brothers and sisters last year were aggravated and complained that, you know, why can't everybody go? Well, we can't buy out the whole stadium. The Braves only give us a certain amount of tickets.
Right.
You know, I wish we could. Now, we bought out Six Flags, but Braves is a little different.
Yeah.
Can't buy out Truist Park.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to go, it's first come, first serve. You'll come down, you'll get your tickets. We'll put it in the system that you received your tickets, and then the July union meeting, we'll do N through Z. Your last name, you can come down and get them. And also, after this June union meeting, we may open up a few select days, but we'll keep you posted. We'll let you know. We may open a few select days up to where you can come by the hall and pick them up.
Okay.
But I'll tell you, we are not handing tickets out at the Braves game. So if you don't get your tickets before the Braves game, you won't be going.
Okay.
You got to come down here, get your tickets. Come to the union meetings, what I suggest you do. Come to the June union meeting or July union meeting. Pick your tickets up. Once they're gone, they're gone.
So Tuesday, June 21st, A through M.
Mm-hmm.
And then third Tuesday would be the 19th of July. So that's a few days before so N through Z then.
Yeah, and that's just so we can kind of keep order. But if you're down here and you're, you know, not A through M, we're not going to say you can't have your tickets. But We're trying to have a little bit of order. So come to the union meeting, pick your tickets up for your family, and let's go have a good time at Braves Night.
Well, so that's all the questions I have thank you for doing this. Thank you for making yourself accessible to the membership. I am a member as well. I appreciate that as a member. Is there anything else that you wanted to address before we sign off?
Yeah, just as a whole, if we want to be a strong union and we want to exhibit the traits of 103 and have that brotherhood and solidarity that Lou has incorporated there, and we want to have that strength and that resilience that Chicago has, that Don Finn has created there, then we got to stand together. It has to be based on solidarity. I know we say it. We're going to disagree at times, but if we really want to change the shape of this 613 and change our future for the better, then it's going to be together. It's going to be us standing in solidarity, arms locked, and doing it together. And that's the only way we can get there.
Thank you. Appreciate you being here and addressing these things. And we'll do it again here in the next few weeks of another edition of Coffee with Kenny. And until then,
thank you,
have a good
brothers
week.
and
Yes, sir.
sisters.